Good afternoon and welcome to another session, right? Friday edition, Venus's edition. So it's all about love and the other messages that try to come through on this day. We had the sunrise session, so we know that today, Friday, right? May 29th is a energetic 11-day. It's opening up the portal to that blue moon in Sagittarius. And you know that blue moons are the second full moon in a calendar month. And you know that this blue moon is energetically charged, is amplifying all the work, all the things that have been put out there. So expect unexpected conversations, unexpected breakthroughs, shakeups in your personal relationships, especially if you are a Sagittarius or a Gemini. That being said, we did the messages for the collective, for the other crew first thing this morning, right? So we're going to do the messages for this afternoon and see what else the collective needs to know about life and love. The biggest thing this weekend is releasing what needs to be released. And I know you've heard this time and time and time again, right? We keep getting the same messages time and time and time again because a lot of you have been dragging your feet on doing the work, just like you're dealing with people that have been dragging their feet when it comes to telling you their feelings and doing what they know they need to do. But feels like all of that is about to come to an end. All of that is coming to a point where it's either now or never. This weekend is the cosmic tipping point. It's the now or never moment. Either y'all going to be together or you're not. But if you're not, there's no looking back. If you're releasing this person, release them for good and do not look back. If you close that door, close it for good and do not look back. This is a moment to really stand firm, 10 toes down on what you want and what you don't want. This is not a moment for words, vibes, and good feelings. This is a moment of action because the full moon is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the archer, right? That fire energy. I believe right now the moon is in Scorpio, getting ready to make its way to Sagittarius, having us go do a deep dive and do a final check when it comes to our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. Really making sure we're taking off the blinders, making sure we're taking off the rose-colored glasses so that we could see a thing for what it is and not what we think it is. The mutable signs, Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces, you guys, Sun, Moon, and or Rising, are going to go through it the most this weekend, right? Pretty much between now and the solstice, because again, you're going through a portal and it's a portal of transformation. Things are not going to happen overnight. You're not going to have this conversation today and everything changes today. You're not going to put out that word today and at this moment and everything changes in the same moment. It's going to take some time for everything to catch up. But in the meantime, once you put your word out there, once you say this is what you want in love and life, in all areas, stand 10 toes down and do not look back. Do not change your word. Do not shift. Do not shrink. Do not tremble. Know that the very things that you are hoping for, wishing for, asking for are trying to make its way to you, with the cut being between Orphaned and Treasure Island, feeling in the energy of feeling like your thoughts, your prayers aren't being heard, your intentions aren't manifesting into your reality, as almost as if you've been forgotten. You haven't. This moment is a moment of self-reflection. That hermit mode that you've been in, that moment of being in the cave, that moment of being set apart, that moment that looks like delay and loss, it's a moment for you to make peace with your past as you prepare for your future. Yesterday, we spoke about being in the liminal space, right? The space between who you were and the space between who you were and who you are becoming. Honor that space and do not rush it, because once you take off, right? Once you get on that ride, once you get on that train and you start moving forward, there's no turning back. That being said, Holy Spirit, what other messages do you have for the collective on this on this beautiful Friday? And Fridays are ruled by Venus, and Venus, right, rules love, luxury, right? So think all things Venus and how you're manifesting that into your life and who's standing between you and your peace, you and your happily ever after. We won't be doing personal readings. Like I could tell by the corner of my eye, the chat is going up, but we won't be doing personal readings on the live, just the channeled messages. If you'd like a personal reading, you know where to go, right? Right. Thank you for spending this part of your day, your afternoon with me and Spirit and the Soul Tribe. Holy Spirit, what else does the collective need to know on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Friday? Whoops, whoops. The whole thing was about to burst and the cards would have flew everywhere. What else does the collective need to know? Did you guys see my post on my stories? I gotta take 2 seconds. 2 seconds to tell you about the post about the whale. Where I live, we get to see whales, yes, in New York. We get to see whales, dolphins, sharks, all types of sea creatures. And I'm a beach girl and I love going to the beach. I love being on the water. Sometimes we'll hop on a boat, right? Go into the bay to see these beautiful, majestic beasts when they come up our waterway. Make time this weekend to enjoy nature in all its forms, whether you're going to the beach, right? You're going to the river, you're going to the park, do something to enjoy everything that nature has to offer. That's another way to ground yourself, right? And practice gratitude. Anything else the collective needs to hear? Well, we're going to leave those two right there because this felt very intentional. And then, you know what? We'll do a what's the tea, right? We'll do, okay. We're gonna do a little something different. After we pull the collective message, and I'll get it now, right? We'll do a what's the tea reading based on the sun sign of the person you're dealing with. Let me know if you guys, no, you know what? Let me go get the cards. Because that feels like a fun thing to do, right? Get to know what's the tea with who you are dealing with and any romance message you need to hear. But we're going to get to that after the collective message. So stay tuned. That is fun. But we're going to start here with the very intentional message about how love is showing up for you. This is the collective message. So, of course, as with all collective messages, take what resonates, leave the rest. So we're starting with the King of Cups and the Three of Wands. This piggybacks, right? This is part 2 to the message that I just posted right before going live. I got the download that someone's fed up with you because you're ignoring them, right? You don't necessarily have them blocked. Some of you do, but you are totally closing the door on this person because you're done. You're fed up. You're in your feelings, and rightfully so. Some of you really need to walk away from that person and don't look back, but some of you need to at least hear them out, especially if they are a Pisces, Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, right? Those are the 4 signs that came out in that message, right? Because the King of Cups also came out. This is someone who wasn't used to showing their feelings, wasn't used to showing up in love, but after losing you, they're realizing that not showing up in love, not telling you how they felt, not doing the things that they know they were supposed to be doing only hurt them. They hurt you in the process, but they hurt themselves. This is someone who's going to want some type of reconciliation. So expect a message from them, right? Especially if you're dealing with that Virgo, Taurus, Gemini, Pisces, right? They're going to come in strong, speaking their truth, finally speaking their truth and taking off the mask. Earlier during the sunrise session, we heard about people being afraid of saying what they feel because they don't want to get the title of being a simp or being soft or being this or being that or being taken advantage of, putting all these barriers to love For those of you, and this is not all of you, we know that Delulu is the Salulu, but this part isn't for everybody because we know certain people are coming back in your life just to trip you up on your journey. This weekend, you really have to double down on your discernment. You really have to see things with clear eyes. Right? We love being optimistic, but now we really have to lean into our intuition to make sure whatever we hear and whomever we hear it from, we see it for what it is. We hear it for what it is and not what we think it is or want it to be. Okay? Okay. And if you are a Pisces, be careful of the information you're receiving, right? Not just in love, but in all areas of your life, so you are not deceived, taken advantage of, or played. Start here. Both of these are crossing. When I put these cards back together this morning, I put everything back upright, right? I went through the deck and put everything back upright, and this card came out again in the reverse. So I will remind the collective again, not only do we know all that glitters isn't gold and all that's gold doesn't necessarily glitter. This was really the pivotal moment, this morning when Spirit said, really hear people out, right? Really listen to what they're saying so that you are not deceived, especially the people that you've worked so hard to stay away from, so hard to put separation between you and them, so hard to keep that separation going. Yeah, really, really be careful with this weekend's energy and make sure you're seeing a thing for what it is, right? Judging it by the moment, not what happened in the past or what you want to happen in the future, but judging it by the moment right here, right now, and seeing whether or not this person actually fits where you're at in life right here, right now. Followed by justice and change with 9/11. Justice being served. This message is repeating the message we got earlier about changes coming to relationships, especially if you are a Sagittarius or Gemini, right? Because Sagittarius, this full moon is happening in your sign. Gemini, this full moon is happening in your house of relationships and partnerships. So expect some type of shakeup, expect some type of change when it comes to that. Really, really, I feel like the messages are definitely repeating itself today. Really, really take this time to receive the information. Sit with it a moment before making a decision, before doing something, before saying something. When this person comes to pour out their heart to you, hear them out and then say, I'll get back to you. And then we're going to find out. We're going to try to tap in with What's the Tea to see what each sign is coming in to tell you. But at least do yourself a favor and just hear them out before you say or do anything, right? Oh, temperance, bad health. Somebody's got it bad with the soulmates card. Somebody really, really feels, Jesus. This has to be for somebody in the soul tribe because I can actually feel this person's feelings, right? It's not just Spirit giving me this message to give you guys. I can actually feel what's going on here. So this is definitely someone who's been a part of the live is about to go through, is about to hear. When they come and tell you, and you're going to see it in their face, you're going to see it in their eyes, someone is actually sick off of losing you. It feels like they definitely thought they could probably save you for later, save you for when they were ready to make the changes that they were being encouraged to make by their own spirit guides, by their own angel team, long before they met you. This is the person, probably that Gemini that kept coming up in the readings. This is the person that got sign after sign after sign after sign about changing their life, about becoming the emperor, about becoming the empress. And they were like, yeah, no, I like my fast lifestyle. I like living like this. I like living low vibes and using people. And they had a whole setup going, even though they knew deep inside they had a higher spiritual calling. So the angels sent them you. to help them actually see in person what walking in your purpose actually looks like, what love incarnation, right, in physical form looks like, what unconditional love, no strings attached love, no, I'll give you this if you give me that type of love actually looks like. With that being said, it feels like you're the first person this person has come across that never wanted anything from them but to pour into them. The only thing you wanted was the best for them. You were always cheering them on and rooting for them and asking how you can help and being that supportive partner. And they were treating you like they treated everybody else they came across. You guys may have broken up a couple of times, but something kept pulling you guys back together. It's because you have a divine purpose. The universe, the angels are all working together to help you guys heal. But your person, especially if they are a Gemini or Pisces, really has to do the work to let go of their past and become the person they know that they were supposed to be from the very beginning, from even before meeting you. Some of you have to walk away and stand on business and keep that door shut tight, no matter what this person says, no matter what this person does, so they can do the work, they can do the healing, make peace with the person they were, and agree to become the person they know that they're supposed to be. Then there'll be a better shot at you guys reuniting and having that healthy, fulfilling love. Then they will be able to pour into you just as much as you pour into them. This person with this bad health, like it feels like, when you have a bad cold and your chest gets really, really congested and heavy, and then you start coughing and all that stuff comes up and out. That's how heavy your energy sits on this person's chest. This is how much they miss you. You guys may not have spoken in weeks or months, but they haven't forgotten about you. They didn't forget what they did, and they've come to terms with realizing that in playing you, they played themselves out of the greatest blessing they have ever experienced. If you didn't know it, you should know that you are absolutely, without a doubt, the best thing that ever happened to this person. They know it. Everyone around them knows it, especially since now they've been so sick over the fact that they can't get in contact with you in spirit or in the physical. They've been so sick with wondering how you're doing, who you're doing, whether or not they'll ever get to see you again, whether or not you'll ever receive them with the softness that you used to. That's up for you to decide. While the angels are conspiring to help you guys out, nothing is going to work until this person does the work, until they do the healing that they need to do. There is true love here, and you're the only one they've ever truly loved. Love was always a game for them, a word that they said. They've never experienced real love, real peace until they met you. Knight of Cups coming out with that mature man. And 5. 5 is the number of changes. This is someone who needs to be left alone, left to their own devices, left to have that time between them and the Most High, them and their spirit guides, for them to finally see things clearly. They have to go within and establish or reestablish that connection to Source so they can become the person they're meant to be in this lifetime. This is someone, once they're ready, is going to come back and let you know what? I did da 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 da. And they're going to give you the full CVS receipt, itemized receipt of everything, not the abbreviated one, right? Not that little credit card receipt that you get with just the amount you spent. No, they're going to go line by line and say, you know what? I was wrong for doing this. And when I did that, and this is why I did it. And you're just going to sit there like, you don't. You're going to wanna, but don't. Hear this person out, and for the majority of you, it is coming from a sincere space. What else does the collective need to know about this love before we get into the signs that folks are dealing with, right? What else does the collective need to know? couldn't be any clearer because if you off camera, it hit the rose quartz globy thing I have here. So we have, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And you see how she's on the horse? You're the fire horse, right? With the gentleman walking beside her and the angels coming to assist. For those of you that were thinking, well, when is this going to happen? Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Separation, time apart from your partner, is on the horizon and is very much needed again for them to face the man or the woman in the mirror and do the things they know they need to be done because they know this love is worth fighting for. Divine timing is at work in your life. This is beautiful, chat. Even if this is someone who has like a playboy or a playgirl past, they can actually leave that world behind and be an amazing partner. That lifestyle they had was all a facade to begin with. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Not only it's time for everyone who needs to heal their heart to disconnect from the world, to use this weekend, the next 72 hours to meditate on how to heal their heart, how to heal the relationship they have with love itself so that true love, can show up for them, but definitely for this person who needs to. Retreat is also about what we see because she's in her wedding dress, right? And this is definitely an older couple who have gotten married. Never too late, never too late. Retreat is also about after the celebration, going together, right, two by two, to start the life that you have created, right? To disconnect from your path and start the journey of being the couple, the lovers, who are working in their mission, right? Not just their mission to love and hold one another, but their mission to be a good example of what true love looks like for the world. And the world always needs more examples of true unconditional love. When enough lovers who really love each other, and not just, the lovers that want to look good on paper, but when more people who love each other come together in union, it raises the vibration of the planet and brings us that much closer to world peace. That being said, let's get to the juicy part, right? Because I really want to get into the tea. We're going to use 2 decks for this, right? Into who you're dealing with, right? Let's go by their sun, moon, and or rising. We should go by their Venus or Mars, but we're gonna make it a little easy because we may not know the Venus or Mars sign, but we definitely know at least the sun sign, right? You do know your person's sun sign, right? If you don't, it's okay, right? The biggest thing is take what resonates and leave the rest. Yes, leave the rest for somebody else. Let me make some room, right? And we'll bust out the love messages. And of course, what's the tea, right? And we'll go in order of the signs. Holy Spirit, give us clarity on the specific messages, right? And of course, take what resonates. And if you're dealing with multiple people, take notes, right? No judgment, right? Just, make sure you have everybody's energy in in its proper place, cutting to ignoring and dodging bullets, right? This is confirming that some of you who are ignoring that person who have closed that door, some of you are being encouraged to keep it closed, right? Keep it closed for now and use your discernment on whether or not that should ever get opened again. And then we're going to do a quick shuffle. Oh, I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm very excited. I think this is the first time we did it this way. Holy Spirit, what other messages does the collective need to know about the person that they are thinking of. Do you not want to shuffle? Try this one more time. Get a good. That's better. What else does the collective need to know? All right. So, if you are dealing with an Aries, your team message is you're being stalked, right? From fake accounts. This definitely aligns with the energy of the person that's sick of missing you, right? Sick of thinking about you all the time, but they can't help but think about you all the time. Even if you even if you blocked their main account and you found their alternate account and blocked that too, they just made another account. They want to keep eyes and tabs on you so they know what you're doing at all times. So go ahead, post, right? Post whatever you want to post because somebody's definitely looking. If you're dealing with an Aries, the sidetrack changes, delays is talking about you not even realizing that this is going on. You could also be in Aries, not realizing that somebody from your past never let you go. They may have let you go in the physical, but they never stopped thinking about you. And they definitely never stopped watching you. If you're dealing with a Taurus, sun, moon, and or rising, your T is Did you know you were in a secret competition with their exes? Did you know that their exes have tea or Burger King together? Burger King, that's odd, right? Just to commiserate on the fact that they all hate you. Keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. This talks about your person and their friend group and how many of them don't like you, right? A lot of these karmics and the T you don't realize, right, dear Taurus, right? If you're dealing with a Taurus, is that your person has been under the influence of their karmic friends. And none of these karmic friends are happily married. None of them are in a happy relationship, period. They're all situationship masters in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. So that should tell you, what their thoughts about love are and what type of advice they gave your person. It should give you a better understanding on why your person understands things the way that they do. They're surrounded by people who really don't value love, and they're realizing that. It feels like they're breaking away from these karmic friends, and that's why they're meeting up together to figure out what you did, right? To have this Taurus acting brand new. The other message you need to know, that attraction, that spark, is really what started them on their sacred journey. At first, they may have gotten with you because of how you look, because of how you feel, like what you added to their life, but now they're realizing it goes much, much deeper than that. If you are dealing with a Gemini, child services, kids risk kids at risk of being taken or about to. This feels more like drama within the home, drama with detaching from a person they know isn't good for them, somebody that they thought they would spend forever with, and then they met you and realized, I thought I knew what love was, but now I truly know what love is, and I want to go there, right? And somebody's trying to keep them stuck. Whether or not they have children together, for some of you, this person could have been a step parent to somebody's child, a genuinely good person. It feels like the energy of someone who really took on somebody else's children on their own, and they're trying to use that against the person, even though these kids are like maybe 14, 15, 16, or some of them are much younger than that. So they're really, the karmic attachment, the karmic person is really trying to keep your person stuck. If you are not in communication with that person, it's best that you guys stay that way until they get out of this sticky situation that they're facing at home, right? Because their true home is with you, and they realize that. But they also realize that you're too good of a person to bring whatever drama they're going through to you. They don't want you to suffer in the least bit or look at them any differently. They want to make a clean break, come with no baggage, and start a new life with you. That's the conflict, the clashing, the differences, right? We didn't even have to pull this before Spirit already told us what's going on. So if you're dealing with a Gemini and they're being distant, they're being quiet, let them. Let them figure out their situation and before they could come back to you and do what needs to be done. But your top of mind and everything they're doing is to make it back home to you. If you are dealing with a Cancer, sun, moon, and or rising, never has the facts, let me cover that up because that's not TikTok safe, right? Makes ish up, lies, right? Be careful. If you are dealing with a Cancer, you know how they said in the general reading, right? The general message, be careful with the information that you're receiving. Really use your discernment, right? Listen to understand, don't listen to respond. And even if you have to say, I'll get back to you, get back to the person, somebody's coming in, right? To pull the wool over your eyes. This finality, clarifying this, if you're dealing with a Cancer, yeah, it feels like it's over for good, right? Leave this person behind with or without closure, right? Because it doesn't feel like they're ready to do the work to be in the type of the relationship that you want at this time. If you're dealing with a Leo, your T is says anything, does anything. Another one that makes ish up, right? Dramatic. This is, I have to shake my head at this. Oh boy. If you're dealing with the Leo, right, this is definitely a clout chaser. This is definitely someone who pretends. I forgot his name. I think is it Black? The entrepreneur with the hookah brand that tried to file bankruptcy because he owes all these women and they denied, the courts denied his bankruptcy. Lala Milan is one of the people that were named in the suit, suing him to get their money back. This is a man who pretended he had $9 million. His company made $9 million, but it was tied up in a certain account and he couldn't get to it. And while they were trying to get to the money, he needed to borrow tens of thousands here from this person, hundreds of thousands from that person, and it added up, right? You're dealing with somebody like that, gets whatever they can from whomever they can to paint this life that they're living that they really can't afford. Like it's really not them. And you were their, I hate to say this, boo. You were their cash cow, right? You were the biggest pony in their race, right? They were counting on you to help them keep this image that they have going. And your guides want you to walk away now that you realize that. Some of you had already realized that before hearing this, but needed to hear it out loud, that this person, and for some of you, they may not even be a Leo. You just know in your soul, yeah, you're right. They were just using me. And use this moment, use this full moon to fully close that chapter once and for all. If you're dealing with a Virgo, right, another mutable sign that's impacted by this weekend's full moon, this is someone who's haunted by the memories of you, right? This is someone who's another person who's sick because they can't get in contact with you, who's literally sick, stomach hurting, what's that? No air. That song by Chris Brown and Jordan Sparks. You have this person in that energy, right? Wondering how they're going to get on without you. This is clarified by charming, graceful, kind-hearted, confirming that you're the first person that showed them true love, right? Hear them out. Hear them out when they come back to speak their truth, because this one with the Virgo, it might be worth working on the relationship, especially since it feels like I keep hearing him say, I learned my lesson. I just want her back. I don't want the games anymore. I just want her back. So whoever that's for, this person, this Virgo, is being sincere. If you are dealing with a Libra, sun, moon, and or rising, well, pretty little baby, they're hooked on you. There's nothing you could do or say wrong, right? This person's always going to be about you, only you, and do everything to stay in your good graces if you guys are still with each other or get back into your good graces. This is someone who's also feeling the loss of not being with you. But this feels like rather than feel it in their body, they feel it in their head. This is definitely the person that has been losing sleep over you, losing sleep over the breakup, losing sleep over the fact that they don't know how to love you, but they're willing to learn. Your guides are asking you to be gentle with this person, be easy with this person. And of course, if you need further clarification about your particular situation, go ahead and get a personal session. Libra, Scorpio. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, your T is hustling. Ooh, this is definitely the energy. And this came out in the sunrise session today. Someone that misses you so bad. You think there was somebody else? Take what resonates, but they're not. This is someone who spends all of their waking time either working, helping somebody, doing things with their hands. They're keeping themselves busy so they don't do something that they regret later until they're able to make their way back to you. They're sorry for their mistakes. They realize that pretty much like the Pisces that came up in the general, that they accidentally play. Well, this one, not like the Pisces, right? The Pisces know that they played you and it was on purpose. This one did it because they never met anyone like you. So they accidentally pushed you away. Yeah, we're going to hear this person out because it feels like they come from a good place as well. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, so we need to say more, right? This is someone who is coming in to not only say they want to make things right, but do all the things. Their actions are going to speak way louder than their words, and it's going to be unmistakable. You guys can't separate. You guys can't walk away from one another. You've done this dance you've been doing across lifetimes, but it feels like this is the lifetime where you finally get it right. This is the lifetime where you guys finally do what you're supposed to do in this relationship. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and or Rising, or if you are a Capricorn, if you've been wondering if it's time to move on, yes, thank you. Next, this is a moment to work on your healing, right? Release, and this is for you all. If you've been called to walk away, work on your healing, and prepare for the love that will truly, truly match you on every single level. If you are dealing with an Aquarius, this is giving Emperor or Empress energy, right? Boss daddy, stable or rich business. I didn't even realize that word was there, right? Big energy. The TikTok gods, please forgive me. Right? I didn't even realize that word was there. This is definitely someone who's on their grown man or woman business. They're not coming to play games. You may be the one that pushes them away because you don't believe what they're saying, but this is also somebody who won't say much. You'll know exactly by their actions whether or not you should let them in. Do not let your past prevent you from having a beautiful future with somebody who wants to mend the heart that they didn't break. Okay? Okay. Last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and or Rising. I don't think I could even show that, right? Their vices have gotten the best of them. Their way of life, and this confirms what came out in the general, right? Used to living life a certain way, used to showing up for life a certain way, used to doing things a certain way, even though they were truly hurting themselves, masking their pain with different types of, you know what's under here, right? Use your imagination, right? Different type of things. And then they met you and realized, oh, wow, the world is not black and white. It's actually an array of beautiful, beautiful colors. Now, going back about this weekend being a moment of time's up, this person is realizing that it's now or never. It's speak now or forever hold their peace. So when they come back to you to tell you how sick they've been, right? Not being able to speak to you, how tired they are of you ignoring them and unblock them, make sure they've done the work to make peace with their bad habits and at least started developing new ones to cope with the broken bits of them. That is the message for the collective. Let's see what you guys are chit-chatting about in these comments. Because my goodness, that was that was a bit intense, right? Right. Hi, Salisha. How are you? Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for spending this part of your day with the spirit, the soul tribe, and me. I truly, 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 truly appreciate it. Hi, Ebony Angel. Hi, Mars Mars. Did you see the whale? Did you see the baby whale flapping in the ocean? Gina, how are you? How are you? Hi, Taurus Empath. Hi, LaRue. Hi, Miss Nicole. How are you? Boogie, woogie, woogie. Oh, thank you for all the gifts. Londe. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's at this full moon weekend, this whole weekend. Take the whole weekend. Even though the full moon is actually happening at 4:44, no coincidence, right? Sunday morning, Eastern Standard Time. Use the time to meditate so you can see things clearly. And I'm glad the live found you. Cheryl. His friends are all toxic and give bad advice. It feels like the way this came out, he's working on untangling himself from that friend group, realizing that they've been giving really, really bad advice because that's all they know. Hi, Grofito. Hi, Miss Green. From Mobile, Alabama. How's the weather out there? Hi, Yolanda. I'm just going through all the messages and make sure I say all the hellos. Thank you for all the gifts and the follows. Hi, Auntie. My spirit team said, shut the door, right? Close it, lock it, throw away the key. Throw away the key to cut that soul tie. And Miss Nicole, absolutely, the train will leave with or without them because you have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to do what you were put on this earth to do. And you guys are supposed to be destiny partners and do it together. But if your partner on the group project isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're going to assign you a new partner for that group project. Hey, Newhart, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? I think I got to everybody that's here. I think, and I appreciate you. Cheryl's all the way in Ireland. How's the weather there? I always want to know how the weather is in different parts of the country and the world. Fell asleep. It's okay, Miss Rose. I think you got the confirmation. It feels like you got the confirmation that you needed. Because looking at that, you're absolutely right. That's what it feels like, right? I'm glad the people that needed to hear these messages were here to hear these messages. I'm reserving my energy as you should, because you're in a very delicate stage in your becoming. So you got to keep all of your energy almost like you're in a cocoon, right? Keep all your energy for yourself so you're not accidentally thrown off course. All right. Before we wrap up the live, you guys had a heat wave? How hot did it actually get? Nolly, it was for both, right? As the different energies came up and out. So, yeah, both energies, both the feminine energy and the masculine energy came up in specific places, but energy is energy. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you missed any parts, this will be posted on my YouTube later on tonight. Wow. That means we're going to have a hot summer. That means we're going to have, I guess that's the effects of El Nino. Not looking forward to it, but we'll do. We'll make the most of it. If any thoughts, feelings, questions come up after you've had a moment to sit with what you received on the live, definitely send me a DM. If you would like a personal session, just you and I, you go right there, right? And get your personal session. Whatever you do, keep in your calm this weekend, in traffic, at work, wherever you go. Stay calm. Whenever we're under the full moon energies, anything can happen, and usually does. This is why we have the word lunacy and why emergency rooms are a bit busier during this time of the month. Stay calm. Whatever information falls into your lap, whether it's somebody verbally telling you, you accidentally on purpose, because there's really no accidents or coincidences, right? Fall into some information that pisses you off. Woosah. Calm. Bring yourself down. Do not react, and definitely do not overreact. Take that information, put it on a receipt, and save it for when the moment is right to address it. We don't want you using your precious, beautiful energy for anything other than aligning with the things you are manifesting in your life, aligning with the things that are going to help you manifest those dreams, prayers, and intentions into your reality. Once the solstice gets here and then we go through the Lionsgate portal, we have a full 2.5 months ahead of us where we can manifest any and everything, but we got to keep focused. We got to stay in alignment, and we cannot be distracted by anything or anyone, especially anyone who's going to come in the energy of whispering sweet nothings in your ear and not doing anything about it. I can't believe this was out in the open. Got to cover that back up, right? People are going to show you better than they can tell you. Judge and trust their actions before you trust their words. Above all things, have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful weekend.